All right, next week. Yeah.
All right, so switch. What
What
is it?
happened
What
to
is
So
it?
this
I
girl?
read a post that there was this mother who was struggling with her bills. She was in debt, and she killed herself and her child. They went. She took
In front of
her
the
child
train.
in front of a train, and
How old was it? How old was your child? She was like
uh,
3, right?
Oh, right, 2 or 3.
Yeah, her daughter.
3-year-old with the daughter of three, because she was
Mm-hmm.
struggling to pay her rent and bills. And I thought that was
What
I
you
thought
thought?
that was pretty
Selfish.
yeah, selfish, pretty interesting, because there was a lot of dialogue around that, right? Like people like, oh, you got to check on your friends' mental health. But I mean, some of us had parents, right? Or some of us have struggled with rent. I mean, we've dealt with some things, right? So I was just like, that ain't really an excuse to go and kill yourself, and not only that, but then kill
The
your own
kid.
daughter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's similar to like that abortion stuff. Like, oh, financially, I can't afford to have a child, so I'm gonna just uh get rid of the baby, right? So people started bringing up the whole mental health thing, but I just felt like, you know,
You don't think that's related to mental health?
You don't think she crazy for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I definitely do, but I just don't think that that's an excuse. Like, it's kind of like an easy way out. Like, oh, she had mental
Right.
health, so like, nah, what she did was wicked, like wrong. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
can't,
Yeah, it was.
I can't just be like I said, like we all come from different struggles, right? We all been through traumatic things in our lives, and everybody responds differently, right? And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, we have a hope, right, that we have Jesus and all that, but I felt like, people in the comments were more like sympathetic towards the mom and what she was going through, and like kind of
Nah,
giving it
forget
a
her.
pass. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts?
Nah, bro. She wildin'. She wildin', bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, all right, you going through some mental stuff or whatever. Like, you should. Yo, the thing too is that she talked to a potential employer, and she made payment arrangements. She only owed $1,000 in rent, a little over $1,000. She made payment arrangements with the landlord. He said it was cool for her to pay like 150 a month to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how bad was it? You know what I mean? And then to take
Right.
your own child, bro, like that's wicked, man.
Yeah, that's the. I
Yeah, I
think
ain't got.
that's the crazy part
I'm
of it. It's
sorry.
the
Like, if I'm
child.
wrong, pray for me, man, because I ain't got. Nah,
It's
man.
it's her bringing the child into it is what
Right.
what made it crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like if she did it to herself, I mean, it's sad anyway. But
Right. Well, I agree. I agree because obviously there was something wrong with her. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But to take your
but
kid with you, like, come on,
like
man.
what like I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows what a dad is, but she could have left the kid with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Just to save that child's life. But that's crazy. But I mean, again, you got to be crazy to do something like that anyway.
Right.
Like you ain't in your right state of mind to do something, your bro, to take your child with you.
You to end your life over rent?
So wasn't one comment said coward? I think.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
motivational speaker, yo. At that, dude
Yeah.
was a
I mean, that's
motivational
that's
speaker.
kind of how I felt, like, bro. Like, that's cowardice to do something like that.
But one thing I learned, man, is it took me a while to like actually register this, like, because you mentioned like what we did or what we went through, the struggles we went through is we can't we can't expect people to go through and handle situations the way we have, yo. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy because it took me a long time to actually for that to register to be like to expect people to react the way I would have or to have the same type of feelings that I would have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think nowadays, man, people are different. You know, they just can't handle certain situations the same. They like these kids are different. They're a lot softer, or you know what I'm saying? Like, look at these kids now. They ain't gonna fight. You imagine the kid fight? and get whooped, and then have to see himself on social media getting whooped. So now he got to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think everything is like a lot more. They're it's crazy because it's a desensitized generation when it comes to seeing violence, but at the same time they're sensitive to a lot of the stuff. They're too sensitive or overly sensitive when they're in their reactions. So it's wild.
Yeah. And that's a good question that's posed. Grow the heck up. It says, if a man killed a woman and his own kid, would people have that same compassion? Right.
Probably not.
Like people, there's been instances where we've seen men that have killed the whole family, right? Because of they got cheated on, right? Or whatever it was. They got into an argument. And so it's like it's almost like our people have certain compassions for certain situations, you know what I'm saying?
I
But
think
to
it's
me, it
how
was
the
just like,
story's presented though, right? Because it's just how this it was like, oh, she was a single mother,
yeah,
falling behind on her bills,
right.
mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the way the story is presented. I think that's what it is.
Good marketing.
Yeah, really. Because when it's a man, it's like jealous man went on a rampage and killed his family.
Right.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's not. It wasn't like man who lost his job, mental health, blah blah blah. It's always the way they spin it. Just like let's be real, right? When the shooter at the church or whatever was like, oh, he's mentally ill or whatever the case. Like,
Yeah.
really? So it's how they spin it, really.
Yeah. I was just shocked to see all the like, oh, check on your friend. Like, cool, yeah, check on your friends. But it was just like a lot of compassion. Like I mean, you do feel sad about the situation, right? And
You
even
feel sad
anger,
about
like,
the girl. You feel sad about
Right.
the innocent
yeah.
child. That's
But you still like what she did was crazy. Like that's like it's like something you don't even think about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we got. I mean, Jimmy, not to put you out there. I mean, you've expressed being uh homeless a few times, right? Like, or once in your life, right? You had
Mm.
mentioned that, and
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you was at the lowest of the low at that point, right? But it was just like,
It would appear that way, man, but that was the time when I first got introduced to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And so
mm,
I don't know, maybe I would have responded differently. I doubt it though, you know what I mean? Because if I wasn't in the Lord, I would have found that $1,000 to pay the rent easily by any
mhm.
means, you know? But
That's a good point.
but I had the Lord, man, so I had peace, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I had peace, you know what I mean? And so I had a praying wife, you know what I'm saying? So I was in an advantage point because again I had the Lord, you know what I mean.
yeah,
So she obviously didn't. I don't. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if she did or she didn't. You know what I mean. Um, but it doesn't seem that way. You know.
yeah.
So it is a sad situation, man. But
But
like
do we even know? Like, I don't because people say mental health. I mean, I guess you got to be like I said, you got to be kind of
yeah, something got to be wrong with you if
mentally
you're
got
ready
to
to
be
jump in front
wrong
of
with
a
you to
train
even
and take your
yeah,
child with you.
yeah. But like if that was a struggle, we don't like. I don't think there's a real backstory behind it. You know what I'm saying? But like they just threw that up there, like, oh, mental health, blah blah blah. Like,
Mm.
I mean, what if she was just plain old crazy?
Yeah.
Don't we all? I feel like we all go through those. Not per se suicide, but we all go through different things that go
Struggles?
through our mind, right? Like we're just getting attacked by whatever it may be, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been through there. I've been in that space, and there's times that the thoughts that come in my head, and I'm just like,
So what kind of thoughts?
Uh-oh.
could be anything, like
Trying to get
just
deep.
of depression, right? Like
Hmm.
sobbing, feeling bad for yourself, and then
Yeah.
people have different ways to channel it, right? Like
Right.
some people, me, right, per se, like my thing would be porn, right? Like it'd be like,
Mm,
oh, I'm depressed. Let me just watch some porn and feel better about
mm,
myself.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Other people do other things. So
Right.
like I just feel like the mental health aspect now is just like if sin is the result, it's like sometimes we have like a compassion for it, like, oh well, we understand this person's struggling and this person's this, and it's like, nah, like that's straight wicked, bro. Like,
You don't feel compassion for somebody struggling?
huh?
You're not compassionate for somebody struggling?
I feel I feel a compassion, right? Yes, like I feel like their situation, but I also feel like the end result shouldn't be that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
right.
that
Oh, yeah.
extreme. Like it's just, or any sin, right? It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm feeling bad. Let me go watch this, or let me do this, or let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me drink, or let me, you know what I'm saying? And it's just all demonic to me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's all devil. Like it's just the devil working in the hearts of
Mhm.
men and influencing all that. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
struggling, devil snatch. The Bible says that he's like a roaring lion, so
Mm-hmm.
he's
Right.
going to come after you even strong. You know what I'm saying? At your weakest moments and try to get you. He tried to get Jesus that way, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, I know you fasted, you ain't, but I like I try to be careful with the whole compassion thing, but I feel like it's kind of become like mental health has now become like an excuse for you. Okay, it's all right to sin because you had this alleged mental health issue. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a fine line. I think you have to, because there's really people that struggle with it who
Yeah,
don't take it to that extreme, and they
Right.
really having a battle, you know what I'm saying? And then you got some that like that, right? They gave in. I don't know if there was even a hard fought battle on that. Like they just gave in and was like, screw it, you know what I'm saying? But you got some folks that's still here, and it's a constant battle, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
there are some people that, you know what I'm saying, like the mental health thing, like it's a real thing, but when they
But do you feel like it's been over, like, kind of romanticized with the media and everything? Like now it's like everybody's depressed,
I don't,
everybody's
you know why? I don't think it's overly, what I think is overstimulation of these apps, of everything being
Mm.
so
Self gratifying.
right, you know what I'm saying, like that, and
right.
it's at the
Like
at our
you
fingertips, right?
like
Everything
you
is,
go on Instagram, you could feel poor. You know what I'm saying? Because you
yeah,
might see
exactly,
somebody who got a Bentley or Rolls Royce and is in shape, and you feel like, dang, I'm not up to par like that.
right,
You know what
like,
I'm
yo,
saying?
this dude 35 and he's rich and he's on vacation and I'm over here, you know what I'm saying,
Behind on my bills, or
getting feeding
behind on my rent.
But is it that it's a mental health thing, or is it that you just don't know how to cope? You don't know how to deal and process that? Because I don't think that's necessarily mental health. You just don't have the
I,
skills. You haven't
no, I
utilized.
think it could turn into that.
Yeah.
I think like the over, you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, like you're just like, this is just your daily thing. Like you're seeing, and what happens is, and they've been doing studies on that, right, with the kids, where they're just so invested in what
Yeah.
app is and what it's doing that it
I think
messes
there was
with
a
their,
study with Facebook. I think
right,
they
and
caused
Wow.
depression.
it messes with their confidence. They feel like they're in constant competition, or
Mm,
they have to be like that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, I mean, I think that's all related. Just like these women today, like now there's so many women that look alike because of all this surgery, and then they see
Hmm.
somebody else and this person. Now everybody going to the same doctor, and man, all these chicks be looking alike now.
Mm.
Right.
Man, that wasn't happening before all this social media crap.
Mm.
Right.
Well, I think that's a big issue, man. Like just the pressures of that, trying to keep up, trying to be with,
Yeah.
it's it's
But
crazy.
I kind of agree with like Jimmy. I think it's like coping, right? It's how it's your perspective, right? It's like you could see a dude that's working out, right? And then
And
be
that
like,
motivate you, like, dang, I'm
dang, I
fat.
could
I
get
need to
like that.
lose some weight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody who, right, is getting money now, and then you're like, well, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. And you follow pages like Earn Your Leisure, you know what I mean? And other people, you know what I'm saying? Wall Street Trapper, what's his name?
yeah,
Mhm.
You know, you follow these people because you see somebody who motivates you like, dag, I want to be like, that person. I want to be able to do things like that person. And so you make adjustments, to your lifestyle, right? You got to make some sacrifices, right?
mhm.
Can't watch 4 hours on Netflix. Let me watch these videos, learn how to trade stocks or whatever. You know what I mean? How to invest in real estate. I just don't think people think about that. And I was one of them. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I really didn't start thinking like that till probably my mid 30s. Um,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I made a decision to really invest in myself, and that started really with running. And when I started running and I started listening to audiobooks, I started listening, you know what I mean, to podcasts and stuff like that. I don't think people invest in themselves like that. You know what I mean? Like some people just
Mm.
just see see something like, oh man, such and such is pretty, or this dude has more money than me, or
Mhm.
whatever. And they have no outlet. They don't know what to do.
But I think like we're speaking from our point of view,
Hmm.
and I think it's different from the younger
Yeah.
generation because they coming up on this crap. Like
Right.
this is
Mhm.
this is them. Like this is what they know, and
Right.
and then
Right.
that's what we seeing. We're seeing these younger kids doing this. We're seeing the younger
Hmm.
kids killing themselves. We're
Yeah.
seeing they're the ones that are having these breakdowns or the result of these studies and all. It's is them. So it's terrible though.
It is, man. It really is, because you got a young child who had her future ahead of her.
Right.
Yeah.
It sucks though.
Good stuff, fellas.
But definitely reach out to your friends, though. You know what I mean? Especially during the holidays, man, because this is when people, they go through a lot of depression. So make sure
Yeah.
you tap in with people at work in your office. You know what I mean? Smile at people, be nice. People can get ugly during the holidays too, man. People
Yeah,
just be rude.
Yeah.
that's true.
Smile at people, say good morning, open the door for people, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, what did
Sometimes
Joseph said?
sometimes you're the only light people see, man.
That's true. People Joseph said sometimes when we have someone that makes a habit of having depressed thoughts, should they be diagnosed with depression or undo their patterns of thoughts? If that person is dealing with depression, how do they undo their pattern of thoughts without help? I mean,
Hmm. Yeah, I think if you fixate on something, you could definitely,
you can,
yeah,
but if they're stuck in that pattern, how do they just change their thoughts that way? Like not with no help, them by
yeah.
themselves.
It's hard, almost impossible,
Right. So yeah,
especially if you're still indulging in that same thing, which is causing it. Like, let's say
right.
social media, for
You're just
example.
stuck in that
Yeah,
pattern. Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
tough.
don't see it.
Man, that sucks. Let's give people some hope, man. What's the word of the day?
All right. Well, we got the word of the day is Ephesians 3:6. It says, this mystery is that the Gentiles are fellow heirs, members of the same body, and partakers of the promise in Christ Jesus through the gospel.
Mm.
Oh, hold up. Are you sending shots to the Hebrew Israelites?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Oh,
Oh, you
wow.
sending shots, bro?
Like,
Huh?
yeah, we here too.
I'm not sending shots. I'm quoting the Bible. That's all I'm doing.
Is that because you saw
Wow.
IUIC? What's it called over there at the Barclays?
No,
Right.
I seen that at the Kyrie. You see, yeah, we've been going for 2 hours, so we'll cut it. Maybe we need them Friday episodes.
We need them Friday episodes. The Friday episodes would just be like no holds. Maybe we just do that for the members, man. No holds barred. We talking about everything.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
'Cause
for
that's
sure.
an interesting topic too that we didn't go into.
Mm.
Kyrie,
All
right?
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They was deep too, man. They was mobbing down Flatbush Ave, bro.
That
It
joint
was
looked
deep.
like me going on Saturday to the Bronx because they be outside, bro.
Nah, you didn't see them in the middle of the road. They look like an army, bro. They look
They
like
do.
300.
They was like around the whole block. Looked like.
They was in the middle of the road. I seen the one in the sidewalk. Did you see where they was walking in the middle of the road and the cops was watching them walk by? They was
Nah, I didn't
marching,
see that
singing
one.
songs.
Nah.
I'm gonna send that joint to you. That joint look wild. They look deep.
I saw the one when they was in the middle like area where the Barclay sign was, and then I saw the sidewalk one.
Okay. Wow, man.
So
yeah.
some interesting times, man, for sure.
Word.
So we members of the body, man. You know what I'm saying? If you from
Nah, I don't know. Well, bro, I'm from Child of Ephraim. You heard?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you heard? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me see your what's it your what's it they wear their little tassels? They
Oh, my tassels? Nah, I don't,
yeah, you rocking them. See?
Around looking like.
I don't got them on right.
Nice.
Well,